Has your doctor or perhaps someone else who is concerned about your health told you about moderation? Just do mostly healthy eating and treat yourself sometimes? Well, I was at a talk this weekend with some renowned doctors here in Manhattan, and one of them said moderation is an absolute myth. He was adamant about moderation being something that only about 2% of the population can reasonably manage, can fairly easily manage. I want to have a different point of view on this. So moderation, it's not necessarily a myth, but yes, it is really tough for about 98% of people to manage and sort out and discern exactly what the heck is this moderation that's going to work for them regarding health and fitness and, most importantly, food, eating. So, hello and welcome. I'm Kimber, and last night I actually went to another event and heard Adam Grant. He's an awesome top-rated Wharton professor speaking here, and he had an idea that I really liked even much better than this moderation, knowing that it's kind of a mess. And his concept, this was with regards to work-life balance, but it fits very well with thinking about healthy foods and perhaps more treat-like foods and things that wouldn't be on your ideal eating plan, right? From this doctor, his ideal eating plan, just FYI, included only minimally processed plant-based products. So that means no refined sugar, too processed. That means no animal products whatsoever. So he was going vegan, he was going hardcore, and when people confronted him about, what do you do when it's your kid's birthday, for God's sakes? He said, sheepishly, don't do what I do what I say. And really, yes, we order a vegan cake, but it has sugar and on and on. So for everyone, right, this moderation idea, it can be challenging, whether you're trying to take a super intensive health stance or be more flexible, just move yourself in a helpful direction. So back to Adam Grant, awesome guy he is, and he had this idea of rhythm with his work-life balance, and rhythm is the concept I use in my life, in my eating, to get basically a 90-10 ratio of eating the things that I know are going to make me feel amazing, tons of diverse vegetables, tons of minimally processed. I am an animal product eater, but again, I keep it probably less than 20% of my diet is animal products, for sure. And how do I do this rhythm idea? Because I travel and I tell people it's true, I eat everything, I just don't eat it all at once. So this rhythm idea is that 90% of the time you're gonna be playing one song, you're gonna be, on the main beat, and then maybe 10% of the time you just switch rather drastically, rather completely. But you have to go back, right? You have to be adept at this switching. You have to be adept at giving yourself these treats, especially if you travel. Who wants to travel and be challenged? Certainly, some folks it works for, but for myself, I'm not gonna be eating vegan when I'm in the middle of Japan and Italy and places where there are so many things to delight in. It doesn't work great for people who love food. So, once again, I just want to introduce this idea of rhythm in how you are playing with your food intake. And if you get 90% on point, that 10% can be aberrant, can be a fun adventure. And that is my take on moderation. It's not a myth, but it can be a mess. When you try to eat moderately on a consistent basis, it usually goes way far afield from this 90-10 concept. So try out a rhythmic approach where 90% of the time you're eating whole foods, plant-based primarily, and minimally processed, of course, but 10% gives you that freedom. You don't take it all the time, but when you're, in a situation that calls for it, that celebration is there, you don't have to just say no and feel like you're in a social misery. Rhythm it out. And thank you so much for watching. This has been Kimber Domke, Mindful Food and Fitness.